Sweet dreams are made of. Now I've come back again.
This is a very special edition of my mixtape here on Radio Centelia. We have the MP for Coshorton and Wallington in with us today, Councillor Bobby Dean.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.
Welcome, Councillor Dean. Thanks for joining us. How are you feeling today?
Yeah, good. Sun's shining, feeling a bit better.
It is quite nice out at the moment, isn't it?
Just brighter. It's not quite warm enough for me yet, but it's brighter.
Saying that, we're having a barbecue later.
Okay, always. Yeah, barbecue immediately, shorts on.
Before we dive in, we'll kick things off with a song. What's your first pick?
My first pick, and I should explain that all my songs are from my wedding playlist because I had that ready and I thought I could borrow from it. But my first pick is Celeste, Stop This Flame.
My heart goes up, my heart goes down. We fall in love and we fall back out. I'll give you anything you want, anything you want, anything. Just don't tell me no. You stop it still, then you make it rush. You're like a pill that I just can't trust. You tell me to stop, but I keep on going. Tell me to stop, but I keep on going. Tell me to stop, but I keep on going. Keep on. You'll never stop this thing. I will never let you go. Well, who am I to say? Maybe by now you should know. You got your somebody calling. You think you're somebody, don't you? I think you're scared of keeping somebody close. You'll never stop this thing. I will never let you go. 'Cause it ain't enough, or did I move too far? It's all too much. I think I must be mad to give you everything I had, everything I had, everything, but it still went bad. Tell me to stop, but I keep on going. Tell me to stop, but I keep on going. Tell me to stop, but I keep on going. Keep on. You'll never stop this thing. I will never let you go. Well, who am I to say? Maybe by now you should know. You got your somebody calling. You think you're somebody, don't you? I think you're scared of keeping somebody close. You'll never stop this thing. I will never let you go. Keep away from me if you can't withstand my love. Keep away from me if you think you must. Keep away from me if you can't withstand my love. Keep away from me if you think you must. You'll never stop me.
So was that the first song on that they played on at your wedding, or was it?
Yes, so Stop Flame was the first song we played at the wedding. It's actually the theme tune to Soccer Sunday on Sky Sports, so you might recognise it.
I do recognise it really well. Actually, sidetrack a little bit. A very good friend of mine used to work for Sky, just retired, and I was on Soccer AM just before lockdown.
Oh wow! So before we went into lockdown, what did you do now? Was you a fan for one of the shows?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, myself and my son were in the crowd for the show, and then we got a full tour around the whole of the Sky studio. We actually walked through the newsroom that you see behind them.
Yeah,
and they were at the desk doing Soccer Saturday, and we were walking behind the actual newsroom at the time watching them. It's an amazing thing.
Amazing experience. I spent so much of my life watching that channel.
Who do you support?
I'm a Tottenham Hotspur fan, season ticket holder. Unfortunately, it's not been a great year for us, but I still go out whenever I can.
I feel a little bit surrounded because Sylvia, who's doing our engineering, is also a Tottenham fan.
Yeah,
and I am a Palace fan.
Yeah, so Palace was on my mum's side of the family. So my mum was born in Croydon and my granddad used to go down to Palace. But my dad was born right near Tottenham and his dad as well. And so I ended up inheriting my dad's team.
Did you get to go much?
Yeah, season ticket holder, go every home game. I'll be there for the European game on Thursday as well. So I go up whenever I can. Obviously, it's quite a round trip from Carshalton to Tottenham, but I still do it even though we lose most of the time.
Quite a disappointing journey home pretty much every week, isn't it?
Yeah, especially when it's a weekday night and you're getting back gone midnight and we've lost 1-0 to someone that you don't think you should lose to. It's tough, but we don't do it because we're good at football. We do it because we enjoy it, don't we?
I'm a Palace fan, and I'm having a couple of good seasons at the moment. So
yeah,
I've had 50 years of not so great.
I think this season actually Palace might have got their first win against Spurs a couple of months in, and then they went on a run and left us in the dust.
Yes,
basically.
Thanks for that. You've got a big challenge coming up on the 25th of April.
Yes.
So you're abseiling down the hospital for charity. What on earth made you decide to do that?
Well, first of all, I was asked, and I didn't feel like I could say no. I don't mind stuff like that. I don't mind doing sort of roller coasters, and I did a skydive when I was like 16 for a Great Ormond Street Hospital. So I've done stuff like this in the past, and I thought it'd be quite fun as well. View probably quite good up there, and obviously raising money for charity as well. Brilliant charity. So yeah.
There's quite a few people doing it, isn't there? There's some doctors and nurses.
Yeah, I think they kind of approached quite a few people and asked them if they'd like to do it and asked me if I would, and I said yes. So I'm looking forward to it, actually. I can't wait to get up there.
So Harry, you quite excited about it then? You're not a little bit nervous?
Always a little bit nervous, but no, more excited than nervous. I think it would be quite fun, and I want to see what the view's like from up there because St Helier kind of sort of sits atop a hill sort of thing already, and I imagine it's got quite a good view of London up there.
I think when you're in the wards on sort of the 5th floor, you do get quite a view out of the window.
Yeah, exactly. So
this is what you could be doing if you weren't in hospital, kind of thing.
Yeah, and also like how many people are going to get to say they've done this as well? It's going to be quite fun to do. I think.
Very true. So you said you'd skydived for Great Ormond Street.
Yes, yeah. When I was 16, my cousin was in there at the time. He kind of had arthritis quite young, and he spent a lot of time in Great Ormond Street Hospital. And I guess I wanted to try and do something. And I found out I could do a skydive, and it was a tandem. So obviously I did it with an adult as well. A long time ago now, actually. But yeah, loved it.
How was that?
Scary, actually, really scary. Particularly when you're sitting on the edge of the plane just before you go out, and you think. It's too late now, but you are worried at that moment. But then when you go, it's amazing.
Because I did a bungee jump on my 18th birthday. And before that, I'd wanted to skydive. But I knew how I felt before I bungee jumped. And I thought, if I feel like that on a rope, I don't know if I could...
Yeah, do it. Yeah. Well, I guess the thing is I had somebody in my back who knew what he was doing. He was going to be making the decision about when to pull the chute and everything. So I kind of felt a little bit safe there. But it was amazing. Honestly, the first sort of 15 seconds that you're just free falling is... I still remember it now.
So you could say with your abseil coming up, you're going after a bit of a daredevil badge.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it seems to be a bit of a Lib Dem trick at the moment. Ed Davey did all of his stunts in an election as well, so it feels a little bit like that, yeah.
That's very true. What are you hoping to achieve with the fundraiser?
Well, we initially set a target at 250 because they told you have to raise a minimum 125. We thought we'd double that. We put the first email out and it went past 500 quid immediately. So we're now aiming towards 1,000. So if we can break £1,000, that would be great. We raise money for a local hospital. Obviously, the more we can raise, the better. But that's our new target.
How's the money raised? How do you think it's going to help the hospital?
Well, I mean, I know that, for instance, the Marsden raises loads of money from the public every year, and one of the things they're able to do is buy brand new equipment faster than you could do on the NHS. So one thing that it could help the hospital do is buy new pieces of equipment that maybe it would take longer to raise if they have to do it for the NHS. So things like that help, and I'm sure there's lots of other stuff that I'd love to have what they call unrestricted funds for, right? Because you get so much funding, but it's always tied up to deliver a specific thing. You get money in via a charity, and it can obviously do whatever they want with it.
And better equipment as well, because I was talking to a nurse last week, and they've got ECG machines now where you don't need all the stickers. You just stand up, it brushes past you like a photocopier, and the job's done. But it costs 3 times as much as the current equipment. Yeah,
exactly. It's large-scale equipment, small-scale equipment. It all makes such a big difference. I went to the nuclear medicine unit a few months ago and saw the power of the machinery we've got in there now. I think it's some of the best in the country, actually. Yeah. And it just speeds up all those appointment times.
Well, we had one of the radiologists from St Helier who talked us through the science behind it. I don't know if you know, but did you know the MRI machine, the reason why it takes so long for an MRI is because it essentially boils you from the inside out, and it has to leave you to cool down. The actual imaging doesn't take very long.
I did not know that, and I bet people would not like to know that, so we probably shouldn't put it out on the radio.
But no, I mean, it's a brilliant piece of kit.
Yeah.
So if people want to support you, how would they do that?
So on all our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we'll have the fundraiser up on there, and people can donate. And otherwise, I think if you just Googled St Helier Absal, I think a lot of the people, other people's fundraising pages should come up.
And that's on April the 25th. What time?
I think I'm doing it in the morning. Don't know the exact time. I think maybe 10-ish, 10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Song number 2, Alicia Keys.
Yeah, so another one from a wedding playlist. That's a slower one, but really meaningful one to me and my wife. And so, yeah, really nice, and it's a nice song. And I've got a bit of a theme. The first couple of songs are more modern, but we're going to go step back through time with the rest of the songs. But this is the last of the modern ones.
Some people live for the fortune. Some people live just for the fame. Some people live for the power, yeah. Some people live just to play the game. Some people think that the physical things define what's within, and I've been there before, but that life's a bore, so full of the superficial. And some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I ain't got it, you, baby. Some people want diamond rings, some just want everything, but everything means nothing if I ain't got you. Yeah. Some people search for a fountain. The promise is forever young. You know, some people need 3 dozen roses, and that's the only way to prove you love them. Hand me the world on a silver platter, and what good would it be? With no one to share, with no one who truly cares for me. if I ain't got you. Some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I ain't got you, baby. Some people want diamond rings, some just want everything, but everything means nothing if I ain't got you. Yeah, if I ain't got you with me, baby. Said nothing in this whole world don't mean a thing if I ain't got you with me, baby.
Got a great voice, isn't she, Alicia Keys?
Amazing, so powerful. And yeah, I love that song because it's just about connecting with somebody on a human level and nothing more. And I love that song for that.
How long have you been married?
I've been married just over 2 years, but we've been together over 10 years. So a long time coming, really. Yeah, we met in working for the same charity together in 2014. My wife is also a local councillor, Councillor Gemma Monday. She's a councillor for the St Helier East Ward. So she's in politics as well. And yeah, the marriage was kind of the icing on the cake, really.
What was it you did before you became councillor?
So we both worked in international development, so working with charities overseas on things like poverty, health and education. My role in that was mainly to try and promote those stories in the UK so that people understood the impact of the work that we did. I think there's lots of good that goes on, but not a lot of it is reported. A lot of the time you hear like the odd story about when money's been wasted overseas, but you don't hear about all the times it makes a brilliant impact. So I was trying to tell those stories really. But yeah, working for sort of overseas charities on poverty, health and education mainly.
So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Essex originally, and I moved to South London when I was 18. But as I mentioned earlier on, both my parents from London originally, one from North London, one from South London. My grandparents actually moved from Kolkata to Croydon in the 60s. Yeah, that was the sort of start of the story in South London. I kind of came back in my early teens.
Kolkata to Croydon, that's...
It's quite a journey. Yeah,
it's quite a journey. Yeah.
They did go back to India eventually. They retired there again 20 years ago. But that's kind of part of my family story around here as well.
So you've always been in public service then. So you sort of went to school and university or whatever, and then you went straight into public service.
Well, charities I suppose are slightly separate to working for a government agency directly. But yeah, I worked in the charity world. One of my very first jobs out of uni was with like a private sort of PR consultancy, but I was only there a couple of years before I went into the charity sector, and then that was my main career really. Yeah.
Yeah, so that thing out of university is let's go and get a job that might pay loads of money and realise that you're really not comfortable with it.
Yeah, a bit of that. I mean, it was kind of get that job because I needed to pay the rent, right? So, you just take whatever job you can. But it was also that sense that I wanted to be involved in something meaningful. I've always felt like that. I've always kind of wanted to do stuff that makes a difference, and so yeah, charities made sense for me, and eventually that's what pulled me into politics, I guess.
So there must have been a point where you thought, obviously becoming a councillor is one thing, becoming an MP, it's a big step from local council meetings. Was there a kind of eureka moment when you thought, actually, I want to make that step up, this is for me?
I guess it happens in stages. I mean, I volunteered in local politics for a long time as well, and I've been involved in different ways. So I kind of helped out one of our mayoral candidates once with his sort of press, and I wasn't ever sure if I wanted to be the person that ran to be an MP, like the front man sort of thing, I guess, as it were. But then over time, I just realised that. If not me, then you put yourself about, and you've got these ideas about how you want to change things, and actually you only really get a chance to change things if you put yourself forward. So I did, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Ask me again in a few years though.
When you're a lot greyer.
Yeah.
We'll see. What's one thing people might not know about you that you're prepared to let them know?
Okay. Well, one thing I've said when I've answered this question before is does anybody remember Louis Spence, the dance choreographer?
Yes.
I'm related to him. I know him as Uncle Louis. He's technically, I think, a second cousin, but growing up, he was always Uncle Louis. So people find that quite funny because a lot of people know who he is. Yeah.
That's not a bad claim to fame.
Yeah,
There are worse ones to have, I suppose.
Yeah.
So how do you unwind? I mean, obviously, it's a very busy job and it's not entirely 9 to 5. But other than Spurs, how do you unwind outside work?
Well, it's the same way I've always unwound out of everything, which is football and pubs, really. I mean, quite often on a Friday night, you can find me down the Hope in Carshalton. I go to all the other pubs usually as well at the weekends, especially to have something to eat. Sunday is a long dog walk with the wife and end up for a pub lunch somewhere. And then if I'm not playing football on a Saturday afternoon, as I still try to do, and then I'll probably be watching it. So pretty typical bloke stuff, really, pubs and football usually.
Who do you play for?
Carshalton Football Club, not Athletic, which everyone always asks me. It's the amateur club that play down Bevington
No,
Park.
I know. I've been involved in football for a very long time. I used to run the football over at Bevington Park for many years up until COVID. So I've been in and around the borough's football for a long time.
Yeah, so I've been playing for them quite a while now, and it's getting harder. I think a couple of weeks ago, it was my 35th birthday. And at half time, this young lad came on for the opposition and he was quick. And I sort of asked him in a break, like, so how old are you then? And he told me he was 18. And I looked down at my knees and wondered how much longer I can keep doing this for. But I'm still trying.
You've got to keep going. You've got to try and stave off the walking football for as long as possible.
That's it, yeah. I'm even staving off vets for now, but vets will come soon, I think, yeah.
Your next song, Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, Superstitious. So this was getting to the moment of the night where the band's starting to play slightly more upbeat music. I grew up listening to sort of funk and soul and Motown. That's what my mum and dad always played, and I love particularly like this one by Stevie Wonder.
So you said your parents are into that sort of Motown music. So that's really what shaped your musical tastes.
It did, yeah, it did. I can always remember, like, on a weekend, music would always be playing as, like, the house is being tidied up and cleaned or people are coming over, and that was the sort of music that we listened to, really. So, yeah, it did have a big influence. I mean, I must admit, by the time I reached my teens, my taste was more kind of UK garage, and I listened to a lot of grime music and US hip-hop and so on. Didn't necessarily think that playlist would suit the hospital radio playlist as much, so I went for some of the old favourites instead, yeah.
So, St Helier Hospital and Radio St Helier, your personal connection to St Helier?
Yeah, I mean, it is just the hospital in my community. I mean, actually, you know, I've got a family member in here at the moment who, you know, had to come in for treatment a few weeks ago, so I was visiting them just last week. I haven't had, luckily, touch wood, much cause to come in here myself personally, but of course, since being the MP, I'm here quite regularly just to get updates on how the hospital's doing as well, and, you know, how it's coping with the pressures it's under at the moment.
I think everyone, the whole NHS is under an extreme amount of pressure, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, St Helier's no exception. It's not like there's anything special about the pressures that St Helier's face. It's the same across the country. Corridor care in particular is something that's filling up my inbox at the moment. I think people are quite shocked that that's the way hospitals are operating now, but like you say, it's the same across the country. There's an enormous amount of pressure.
How much were you aware of Radio St Helier before today?
I've got to admit, not an awful lot. I've obviously looked at your website since receiving the invitation to come along, and I've heard about the long history of the radio and got to see the amazing studio today. I mean, a lot of people who are listening are going to get to have seen what I've seen today, but it really is an impressive studio and way bigger than I thought it would be.
So what do you think the role of hospital radio can play, not just for St Helier Hospital, but for the wider community?
Well, I was thinking about this, and I guess one thing you can do is you can connect the people that are staying in hospital with their family members and friends and so on. So I know that visiting hours are sometimes restrictive, but if you know that both you and your gran or both you and a family member are kind of listening to the same thing at the same time from the same radio station, that's quite a nice thing. You can kind of connect people across the hospital's borders, really. Because
we actually do quite a lot in the community at the moment. So we work with, in fact, it'll be out at 1 o'clock today, Sutton Night Watch, and I know it's a charity that you've
I've gone to them a few times. Yeah.
So we do the Sutton Night Watch request hour. So the users and the volunteers from Sutton Night Watch send their requests in, and every weekday lunchtime a show goes out for them.
Oh, that's brilliant! Yeah, and they're a fantastic local charity. I've gone to visit them several times and managed to make ministers aware of them recently in Parliament as well. So yeah, I'm really glad that you got a connection with them.
Yeah, they've grown really quickly, but they're doing fantastic work, aren't they?
They are, yeah. And I went to the Christmas dinner they did just before Christmas, and the number of dinners that they had to serve up in such a short space of time. I mean, they're doing such a good service to that community.
Well, that's one thing. I mean, charity in the community. We spoke to Councillor Steers, the mayor, when he came in. And that this borough seems to be quite unique compared to everybody else in terms of just how much charity work goes on and how much good work goes on in the borough.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of the really special things about Sutton. We've got a fantastic active local community. I don't think it's any accident. I think the council does a lot to try and support that. We have specific funds that local groups can apply for that's always restricted for them, no matter how much pressure the council is coming under in terms of the financial pressures, which we always make sure that we reserve some pots for local groups to bid for. Our parks, I mean, our parks are such a brilliant part of our borough, but almost all of them, even the sort of smallest strips of green space, have got like friends of groups, and they're really well supported as well. So yeah, we're really lucky to have that level of community activism.
So your next song, Marvin Gaye, big favourite of mine. I love Marvin Gaye. Yeah,
exactly. It comes back to that Motown era, and I had to choose a classic, and I think Ain't No Mountain High Enough is probably one of the biggest classics, really.
Listen, baby, ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby.
If you need me, call me, no matter where you are, no matter how far.
Don't worry, baby,
just call my name, I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry, 'cause baby, there
quick fires.
Okay.
A book you've read recently.
I'm reading a book called Inheritocracy at the moment, and it's basically about how younger people are struggling to get onto the housing ladder, and the only way they can do it is if they've got parents that are able to support them. They call it the bank of mum and dad. My mum and dad are in a council house. I don't stand to inherit anything now or in the future. And so there are lots of people like me out there, and I think it's a big problem we need to try and fix the housing crisis so that we don't just rely on people to inherit.
I know it's a quick fire, but you touched on something.
Oh, sorry, that was quick. That wasn't quick enough, yeah.
No. You said about, and I think it is important because it is really difficult because I've got kids that are 25, 22, and they're now starting to look at how they can get out. What's the answer?
Well, the answer is building a lot more homes over a longer period of time, including council homes, because one of the things that means people can't save for a deposit is because they're in a really expensive rental sector as well, and we used to have a lot more council homes available than we do now. So it's building a lot more homes, but at the same time having the economy growing, so people's wages are going up, and then over time what you'll see is the wages start to catch up with the house prices. But it's a problem that's had a long time to build, and so it's going to take a long time to fix.
It doesn't help that we're on an island because there's only a finite amount of space and a finite amount of property.
Yeah, we could say that, but I mean, I think something like 7% of the UK is built on, and not a lot of people know that. And we can also intensify building. I mean, look at some of what we're doing around Sutton Town Centre. You build upwards, there's more space there. So there's ways of getting around it, I think. We definitely can provide the level of homes that our country needs.
We just need less landlords buying them, I think.
Well, yeah, exactly. More restrictions on who can buy the properties. If you've got lots of people from overseas with no interest in living in those properties, buying them and then renting them out, then that doesn't make it fair for the people that live local.
Yeah, just tax them loads for doing it.
I think we could do that.
Back to the quick fire.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so that was a very quick fire.
TV series you've been watched?
What's the last one I binge watched? I did watch that Adolescence that everyone's talking about, and I'm trying to think what else I'm watching at the moment. Watched a couple of films lately because it's been like Oscar season, hasn't it? So that's not quickfire, is it? Adolescence.
A hidden talent or a hobby you have?
Oh, hidden talent. I wish I had one. Hobby. Well, it's an old one now, but I used to do karate. I did karate for a very long time, over 10 years. So it's a hidden hobby.
If you could have dinner with any historical figure, who?
He's not dead yet, but I would say Barack Obama because
He's historical.
Yeah, he's a historical figure in my head because when I was like younger and I was first even thinking about politics, he was the president. I just thought he was so inspired. The way he tried to bring everyone together, complete opposite of what you see goes on now, which seems to be trying to divide us. And I think his rhetoric about bringing people together was really special.
It is amazing how America has switched from really progressive, really kind of for the people to what it is now.
Yeah, I know. And I actually read Obama's book last summer, and he was talking about how it started to happen at the beginning of his term, actually. You know, he had this big message of unity, and then it felt like politics was pulling apart at that moment. It's really sad to see. I think it's a result of the fact that people are finding times are tough, and they're looking for answers. You know, everyone's struggling at the moment. You know, you don't have a lot left over at the end of the month, and when that happens, people look for extreme options, and some people are offering extreme options at the moment. So the first thing we need to do is fix people's cost of living, and then people are more happy to look to each other and work together.
Chic, Everybody Dance is your next song.
Yeah, so as you can imagine, we're getting towards the end of the wedding party now, so the tempo's moving up a bit, and I had to choose a classic of the disco genre, and this was it.
Down, puts a smile on your face, anytime, any place. Dancing helps relieve the pain, soothes your mind, makes you happy again. Listen
Where did you get married?
In the Bedford pub in Balham.
I know the
Yeah, so
very,
if you
very
know it,
well.
yeah. We managed to get it all done under one roof. They have a wedding license. We got ceremony in the cabaret room, went upstairs to the cocktail bar, and then had the ballroom to finish with dinner and dance.
I remember going to a comedy night there, and we're talking over 20 years ago, and there was a little-known comedian at the time called Jimmy Carr.
Yeah,
who
I've heard of
was-
him.
Yeah, and he wasn't even the main act that night. But I remember how incredibly funny he was. And then, 2 or 3 years later, he just suddenly appeared on TV. And I thought, I saw him in Balham.
Yeah, and it's really famous at comedy night. So every year on the sort of anniversary of our wedding, we go back and watch one of the comedy nights there. So we go back every year. So.
I imagine it's a little bit posher than when I was there 20 years ago now.
I don't know. I mean, we love the idea of getting married in a pub as well. We spend a lot of time in pubs, as I said earlier. So it was nice to do it all under one roof and pretty informal. It was good.
So what's next for you? Any upcoming community events or initiatives you're involved in?
Yeah, so the Wandle is something I'm continuously campaigning on, the cleaning up the River Wandle. So we've got lots of monitoring projects and so on coming up in relation to that. The next big focus for me over the summer is going to be doing with children and social media and phones. So this has become an increasing issue for parents and for teachers and for schools. And so I'm going to be launching something called a Safer Screens Tour, where I just want to go and listen. I want to go listen to kids in school, what they feel about social media. I want to go listen to parents during parent groups. I want to speak to teachers as well, and just understand what should the government be doing in this space to make these devices safer for children.
It's a massive thing, social media, because it's equally brilliant and dangerous.
100%. Yeah. I mean, look, I'm a digital native, I guess. I grew up with technology, so I know how brilliant it can be. But I also find myself getting addicted to social media apps. So what's that doing to children? I've actually deleted all the social media apps off my phone now. Me and my team know that we have to communicate with the public via it, so we do that. But I am really sort of nervous about how it kind of corrupts your mind. So I'm even more worried about what it's doing to children, and I just want to make sure that we regulate it properly so we get the good bits without the bad bits.
Because you do, I think if you are, and obviously people now make a living off of social media, I think if you're doing that, you do need to have such a thick skin now and be prepared that most of the stuff you're going to get is going to be negative.
Yeah, and for me as a politician, I try to make my barometer when I meet people. I go out and knock doors. I knock a random sample of doors every week. I'm meeting all people from all different walks of life, and I use that more as my barometer rather than what I see on social media, which I think tends towards people that are upset. And if people are happy, they don't tend to sort of message you, but if they're unhappy, they will. So you have to really kind of clear your head of that and try to be proactive.
But also you've got that kind of mask of being behind a screen that you can maybe say something that you wouldn't necessarily have the...
Yeah, and they might not know me as well, and so they have build up an idea of you based on other things that they've seen or read about, and I get that. I've got a thick skin. I understand that what job I'm in means that there's going to be loads of people that don't like me at any one stage of time, but I've just got to carry on and be focused and try and do good, really.
Before we let you go, your final song is from Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yeah, September. So we deliberately wanted this to be the song finale because we think it's a big sort of dancing tune. But unfortunately, there was a strict curfew at the Bedford, and so the band actually got cut off before they could play this finale song, and the bar wouldn't let them play it. But I'm going to play it here now, so it's for that moment.
Changing the minds
thank you very much for coming in to join us today. How have you liked it?
It's been amazing. It's great. It's nice to get some of my old wedding songs played out to everybody, but also have a lovely informal chat. It's a bit better than the grillings I sometimes have to put up with on policy. It's nice to just chat about life, really. It's really good.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Sweet dreams are made of. Now I've come back again.